Hey guys, how you doing? It's Henry at Motors and Blows. How's everybody doing? Today it is chilly and rainy here in Long Island, New York. But I'm determined to get something done today. As you guys know from a previous episode, I got this engine for free from my friend Nick from Bellport. He gave it to me saying that the owner who gave it to him, or sold it to him, said it was blown. Nick couldn't get the sump cover off, so he gave it to me. I ended up getting the sump cover off and finding out that there really wasn't any catastrophic damage in there in terms of the camshaft, the crankshaft, or any of the synchro balancers, right? But what I did find was that there was some scoring on the bottom part of the crankshaft because the sump cover had some scoring around there. Shaft here. That's pretty. So I changed the sump cover and I smoothed out the bearing on the crankshaft with a little bit of oil and fine grit sandpaper, and I put it back together again. I didn't, however, have a good condition head gasket, which the original one was blown, but I had an old one that looked okay. I put the used head gasket in there and we put everything back together again. And when I tried to crank it, I can feel air coming out the side of the head gasket area. So I knew that that head gasket was bad. If you don't have a good seal between the cylinder head and the engine block, you're not going to have any compression at all. When I tightened up the bolts and stuff like that with a 1/2 inch impact, it sort of wanted to go vroom. So what could I do? I had to go buy a new head gasket. With a new head gasket, I think it'll run. So I went and bought a brand new head gasket on eBay. It was ready, $4.95, free shipping. And it came with two different kinds. You can use both kinds, but it's not really very good quality. It's kind of bent over here where the head gasket gets blown all the time, right there. It's kind of bent and creased and there's a small crack there. There's another one on the bottom though. I'm going to put this on, torque it down to 18.3 foot-pounds. That's the head torque rating on the Briggs Stratton single-cylinder engine. This is the older engine. Don't let the more modern engine cover fool you. I'm going to try it anyway. So this video is to teach you how to replace your head gasket on this particular size engine. It's really very easy to do. I have oil in it, but don't worry. I'm going to try to do this without taking any oil out. There's 4 3/8 bolts that holds the engine cover. Because I adapted this dipstick to fit this, because it's an older sump cover, and adapting a new engine cover onto the older engine, I needed to adapt the dipstick to fit onto this cover. It actually should be the metal cover. You're only removing the engine cover because it could kind of get in the way of your head bolt removal for the cylinder head. You could probably get away with not taking the cover off. Unfortunately, you do have to take the muffler off because it's hiding one of the head bolts. Remove the muffler. Move the spark plug wire. You could technically leave it on, but it'll get in the way. Move the intake attached to the carburetor. Just let it hang. Just to have good access to it, remove the fuel solenoid ground. The bottom isolating tin, just 5/16. Now the entire cylinder head bolts are revealed. You have to remove the spark plug because it gets in the way of one of the bolts here. So yeah, quite a lot of things to remove, but it's not hard. 1/2-inch bolts, 1/2-inch impact. That should do it. There we go. Push rods, aluminum on the bottom, steel on the top. Pretty good surface still. None of the gasket material got caught on here, so it's still smooth. You don't have to clean this unless you want to. Here is the gasket that I put on here, the used one. The reason why it's not getting good compression and I felt air leaking out this area, it's probably because of this area here where the coating has kind of faded. I think if I would have torqued these down, it probably would have worked, but not for long. It's compromised. See over here? The material is gone when I put it on. This gasket kit that I got for $5 comes with a valve seal, muffler gaskets, carburetor gasket, valve cover gasket, and 2 different types of head gaskets. They both would fit, but you just want to use the one that's better, such as the one below it is the thicker one in this area where it usually blows. So as I mentioned, it comes with 2 different kinds. I believe they both fit. This one has the thicker area where it usually blows. It usually blows right in this area here. And this looks like it actually accommodates the thicker one. If you put the thinner one in, and it has these 2 dowel pins here to guide you about where it goes. As you can see, the holes all match up. Either one fits. You see this gasket? There's still material here on the cylinder head where you could cover to make it more stronger. So I might use this one. See how this covers the entirety of this area? It's not really cut very well, but this is stronger for sure. Get a razor blade. Just a little piece of material there that you want to get out. Just go around the whole thing just to make sure it's smooth. You can use a wire bristle brush on a drill, get it better. Spray some degreaser. Especially this area right there. I did the head too. It's really very easy. So it has to be this way. It can't be another way. If you put it the other way, it won't fit. Okay. Can only go on one way. You match it on there, the holes. You're gonna have to take this valve cover back off again because you have to put the rods in and put it underneath the rocker arms. Make sure it's not caught on anything. Seated well right onto the block. Slip the head bolts back in here. There's 8 of them, or 9 of them. They're all the same length. When you take them out, make sure they're the same length because some are longer at the corners for strength. And so it's 220 inch-pounds or 18.3 foot-pounds. It's probably not a good idea to use a 1/2 inch impact to put this on because you could break a bolt if it's too tight. My 3/8 impact, you can go all the way without it breaking. Cross pattern. I know my impact very well. I've been using this for about 6 years. Got my torque wrench here. I haven't used it in years, but I'm using it today to set an example for you guys. Normally I just go as hard as I can do it. Anyway, just below, a smidgen below 20 foot-pounds, so 18.3, give or take a point. Oh, there we go. Now I'm going to remove the valve cover, put the push rods back in. Might have to do another valve adjustment. Okay, you guys saw I put everything back. Just go in reverse order. Here we go. We're going to test it now. Charged up my jumper pack. Albeit a weak jumper pack, but I still jumped it. Charged it. Choke it. Now remember, we want it to just go vroom. I want it to know if it runs. It has to go vroom. Choke. What do you guys think? You think that head gasket fixed it? I hold it. Go vroom. Now the compression's too good. Compression is too good, or the battery is really bad, or both. Yep, I gotta get a stronger battery. All right, I've got a car battery hooked up. Compression's too good now. I'm charging that other battery. Maybe I don't have enough strength, but I took out the spark plug just to crank it real fast to see if putting it on its side left and right, it had oil in there and it was hydrolocked a little bit. It's not, it's clear. But look, good spark. And nothing in there. Just to test, spray some ether in there. Put the spark plug back in again. try it again. It won't even turn, man. But this battery's trash anyway. Let's take it off choke, see what happens. So I think the engine has to spin really fast to move that lever off, you know, the decompression ACR on the camshaft. It has to spin so that the centrifugal force will move the lever to take it off the lobe. So it's just not spinning fast enough because we have too much compression. All right, I'm gonna have to come back to this. So that's just to show you, when we had that bad head gasket in there, I could feel air coming out of that gasket area. So the compression was terrible, and so it would never start. Just changing a head gasket gave it tremendous compression. So much compression that my weak battery can't even turn it past the compression stroke. So stay tuned for another episode when I get my battery charged up really strong, and so we can do several revolutions, and that'll be enough energy to move the compression release lever past the lobes so that it turns easily for it to start. But today's video was to show you just how easy it is to change a head gasket on a Briggs Stratton single-cylinder lawn tractor engine. It's very easy to do and obviously very cheap and economical to do too. My set of gaskets in that pack was $5, including shipping. $5 is all I paid, and I got 2 head gaskets now to use. Well, 1. Thanks a lot for joining me on today's lesson, how to change a head gasket. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so I can continue to bring you educational small engine equipment content like this one. Have a great day. We'll see you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers. I bypassed the safety switches.
See you guys next time on Mowers and Blowers.